Satellite images confirmed damage to an ammunition storage in occupied Luhansk, which was struck several days ago. Satellite images reveal the aftermath of a missile strike on an ammo depot, showing significant damage. 3 or 4 buildings destroyed and 1 damaged. 7 North Korean soldiers are reported killed by the Ukrainian armed forces on the front line in Kursk region. 1 North Korean soldier surrendered. The first clashes between Ukrainian forces and North Korean troops took place in the Kiev-controlled Kursk region in Russia on October 25th, according to sources available to Jonas Oman, head of the prominent Lithuanian Blue-Yellow NGO. Oman shared information from his sources in the Ukrainian intelligence and the armed forces that were later officially confirmed. Some Ukrainian special units have now been transferred to Kursk. They are being given quite serious equipment, and the task is very clear. On the one hand, Ukraine is trying to tell them that if you surrender, we will give you good conditions. On the other hand, if you do not give up, we will hunt you down. For Ukraine, this change is quite serious, and it wants to show that it can deal with them. Kursk is likely just an experiment, and they will try to see what comes out of it. Presumably, they will now be used as cannon fodder. If they see that there is a result, then they will be integrated with the Russian forces either in parallel or separately at the company or battalion level. The first steps are now in place. Russia does not know, and we do not know, what will happen. Moscow is doing this because it does not want to mobilize more troops. The topic is very sensitive politically. They have now come up with another way to replenish their ranks with North Korea's help. Fighters of the Chervona Kalina Brigade turned a Russian BMP into blazing scrap metal in the Pokrovsky direction. A mine set by Ukrainian sappers stopped the BMP, and FPV drones from Ukrainian pilots finished the job. Well, we've looted basically, now we're on our way. Russian owners of the very same war car, in the back of which they carried sacks with the corpses of fellow soldiers, now carry in it marauded things and provisions. Russia is preparing an armored assault on Zaporizhzhia, says Ukrainian Southern Defense Forces spokesperson Vladislav Voloshin. After conducting drills on occupied territory, Russian forces plan to deploy this equipment near 2 settlements in the region. According to Voloshin, the occupiers have already conducted training at one of the training grounds in the occupied territory. Armored vehicles are planned to be used in the areas of 2 settlements. Russian forces in the Vremev region are preparing armored vehicles not only to transport assault groups, but also to support infantry with fire on the battlefield. The active use of armored vehicles is planned in the Pryutny and Levadny districts of the Zaporizhzhia region. At the same time, the occupiers are increasingly using drones and various protective devices against thermal imagers. In modern warfare, technology is not a panacea. It is quite vulnerable in modern combat conditions, so it is not always effective. Especially in the south, where the line of combat actually runs through the steppe zone, technology can be seen far away, and it is easier to work on it with drones or artillery, Voloshin explained. Russian forces also continue to use buggies and motorcycles for rapid movement between positions and delivery of personnel and weapons. Voloshin added that such means of transportation allow to avoid minefields, although Ukrainian drones effectively detect and neutralize them. British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves said today she would provide the UK Defence Ministry with an additional £2.9 billion next year, and promised an annual £3 billion support for Ukraine would continue for as long as it takes. Poland has started construction of the Eastern Shield fortification system on the borders with Russia and Belarus. The Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, announced this the day before. He also published a photo on X showing equipment working on the construction of the fortification. Construction of the Eastern Shield has begun. The first works on the border with Russia, the Prime Minister of Poland captioned the photo. The Eastern Shield program was presented in May. At the time, Donald Tusk said that the government would invest $2.55 billion. The program involves the construction of a network of fortifications and barriers on Poland's borders with Russia and Belarus. The completion is scheduled for 2028. Poland will purchase heavy engineering equipment for the construction of barriers on the border with Belarus and Russia as part of the Eastern Shield program. The total value of the contracts exceeds $152 million. The new equipment should strengthen the capabilities of sappers and those units that will prepare and build the engineering barriers on the Polish-Belarusian border. In mid-October, the first tests of the barrier and fortification elements to be used in the Eastern Shield program took place at the Orzech training ground. In 2022, Poland built a 5.5-meter-high, 187-kilometer-long fence on its border with Belarus to counter illegal border crossings. The fence is equipped with electronic devices that detect violators and signal the attempts to cross the border. The U.S. Department of Defense announces an additional $425 million defense and assistance package for Ukraine. This package is the Biden administration's 69th tranche of equipment to be provided from Department of Defense inventories for Ukraine since August 2021. The package will include air defense systems, munitions for rocket systems and artillery, armored vehicles, and anti-tank weapons. The capabilities in this announcement include munitions for National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile Systems, Stinger missiles, counter-unmanned aerial systems, equipment and munitions, air-to-ground munitions, ammunition for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, 155mm and 105mm artillery ammunition, tube-launched, optically tracked, wire-guided missiles, Javelin and AT-4 anti-armor systems, Stryker armored personnel carriers, small arms and ammunition, medical equipment, demolitions equipment and munitions, and spare parts, ancillary equipment, services, training, and transportation. The United States will continue to work together with some 50 allies and partners through the Ukraine Defense Contact Group and its associated capability coalitions to meet Ukraine's urgently needed battlefield requirements and defend against Russian aggression, the statement said. Unbelievable! A crazy incident with a Bangladesh Air Force Yak-130 combat trainer aircraft. Did he just fly away in the end?
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.